Hello, hello. It is me, yours truly, Seven Aces. About 2 months ago, I made a video on a game called Final Fantasy VII Dissidia Duelluem, and I just kind of wanted to check in just to talk about how the game's going. Normally I do webcam for this, but my webcam actually broke and I haven't had time to buy a new one. So yeah, I think the best way to check in on a game like this is probably just to make a tier list to really just see what's going on. But before we do that, I believe the game's in a good place right now. It's getting decent reviews on the Google Play Store. I think we could definitely use some more content outside of Sephiroth, but I think it'll be on its way. I really did enjoyed like what Sephiroth brought to the story. I thought it was very interesting to see like a villain be playable, and like he's like in the story and he's like actively messing with the actual antagonist of the story because he's just him, right? But outside of that, only dropping one character for basically what felt like a month was kind of not a great move. It didn't really shake up the meta too much in a good, positive light. But overall, I think the game is doing pretty good. I would love a like PvE mode or something like that, but you gotta remember this game is literally 2 months old. So yeah, but I think it's doing well. I'm enjoying it, and I haven't put it down. My main complaint with the game is that people are stupid, and it's hard to coordinate in a team game. But you know, that's at this point, that's just every team game on the market. Like same thing happens in Rivals, same thing happens in every game. So yeah, just those were on the backgrounds going on the second channel, and let's just give it a go. So firstly, I don't think we need 5 tiers, first of all, right? And also, I'm just gonna name this tier Zidane, right? Because you know, I wasn't vocal about it in the first one because I didn't want to LARP and be wrong the first time. But genuinely, Zidane is one of the worst characters I've ever seen in a competitive video game. He is actually so bad. It's like comedic. Because, okay, you know what? He got buffed recently. And I think what he was supposed to do, which is literally just be a little rat and steal everybody else's bravery, give it back to his team, and go from there. He was just like really bad at it. And he had like no defense. So he would just run up and try to be a little rat, and he would just die every single time. And I'm pretty sure he became the least used character. I never saw him ever. I still don't even see him, but now he's like okay, but like, you know, he's just like aggressively mid. But like all the characters in this game are like kind of good, so it's kind of hard to compete. Anywho, so this meta that we're currently in as of, let me check the date here, as of June 17th, 2025 is, I believe, solely revolves around, I would honestly still argue Riku, oh sorry, Diamond 3, by the way. I think my peak is Diamond 1 in every season. I think I've been at the very least like Gold 1 every season. I do know what I'm talking about. I could be higher. I just actually have a job, so it's kind of hard to spend time grinding this game, but you know, it is what it is. I don't really want to go from the ground up. I kind of just want to like build up the middle. So I think I'm just going to talk about every single person of a role, and I'll start with the smallest role. Or no, it's not the smallest role. Agile is the smallest role. Or they're the same. Okay, we're just going to start with support. So Warrior of Light is a good character. I feel like Warrior of Light continues to be outclassed by Krilly and Riku all the time, because the idea of just having the ability to instantly like snap your fingers and everybody has bravery, like, you know, Krilly has like, you know, the shared thing and she can use Rasma, but, or is it Ramza? I don't know, they don't say it out loud, but Cheer Up, yeah, she can use Cheer Up, Rasma, give everybody else the stuff. But it's not as instant as Riku, where if Riku has maxed out bravery, you basically just get 2 bursts back to back, which sounds bad on paper, but like in reality, like, you know, you throw an Omni Slash in there every now and then, and it's like, and you wait 20 seconds for like your whole like cycle to go through, and you can just do it again, and that's like pretty much half the boss health if you're doing the right thing. So because of characters like that, I feel like he gets outclassed a lot of the time. And that's why he's only an A. I still think he's a good character. I still think he's good at killing. He's just not as good as killing because of what we got going on now. So I'm gonna leave him right there. But we're gonna talk about Krilly. I think Krilly's better than Warrior of Light. I think Krilly is a very good character, and I think the idea that if you have a bad Krilly, you're gonna lose. If you have a good Krilly, you're gonna win. I think that's still very true. I think it's funny because I was playing Smash the other day, and I was playing against like a person playing Joker online, and I was just like, the people who play Joker, like Joker with Arsene is a better character, but they become worse players because you can just get away with more stuff, so you get a little sloppy. That's how I feel about Riku and Krilly. Riku is better than Krilly, but Krilly players are way smarter because they have less resources to their name, so they have to try a little bit harder. But also Krilly players just know how to read the game better. They always know what's going on. A Riku player could sit in backline the entire game and only do like what they can do, which is just farm first crystal, farm first and second crystal, and then just sit at max and then just use Quartet every now and then and buff you up, which is not bad. But you know, sometimes you just need like that extra knock in a fight. Like I've been in so many fights where, you know, I'm on like the edge of winning, and you know, my Krilly just comes up and uses Sacred Light or whatever, and then just launches them 80 billion feet in the air, and I'm able to walk away. I'm able to hit somebody else. I'm able to focus on the boss, and like, you know, it just opens up. But Riku players just don't do that. That does not mean that Riku is a worse character than Krilly, but that's what makes Krilly players so good, and that's what makes Krilly so good as a character. And you have to calculate how good the players are with the character, because solo queuing is a very big thing in this game, in my opinion. So kind of to piggyback off of that, I think Riku's the best support in the game. I think Riku's an S tier character. I think the idea that you can have 2 bursts back to back and have basically 2, like I would say like 1.5 or 1.6 of a health bar, like just off rip, is just kind of insane. The speed boost is nice, and yeah, she's literally just good. It's kind of hard to put it into words. She just does more things than these two, and that's kind of what makes her do her thing. But I really don't think I do not think what's it called, Word of Light is a bad character. But another one that's kind of complicated like that is Iroha. See, I played a lot of Iroha because I have a +6 Gachakurin, and I think it's Gachurin, my bad. I don't speak Japanese, but I'm LARPing, but I'm trying my best. But she just kind of has no defense. Like, for example, if I'm playing Cloud, right? Cloud is like my most played character in this whole game. If I am attacking the boss and I am currently getting hit, like out of like the end frames of Omni / something, I am slapping the finishing touch button and I'm hitting a launcher, and everybody's gonna like get off me. In like the short span, everybody's gonna get off me. The only people I have to worry about at that point are, you know, your Sephiroths, your Renoas, and your Terras, right? That's all I gotta worry about. And maybe a like a UR from Kane, maybe an Ace Fire RF, stuff like that. Maybe a Clive, but most of these people, Balthier, but we'll get into that. Most of these people not doing anything about that, and that's a good thing, right? But Iroha can't do that, and Iroha has to use all of her skills back to back to get like the bonus, especially with Gachurin at the end, like that extra hit. You need to do extra hits before that to get that extra one at the end. So realistically, that kind of just like downs her, and I think she's really good. Like, I genuinely think she's a good character. It's just compared to all the other ones, it just kind of gets a little dicey for her personally. So I personally think she's the worst melee damage in this game, which sounds bad, but that's really good because all of the melee damage in this game is very good. Now we're just gonna get into melee damage, honestly. All right, I'm gonna put Cloud at, it's either here or here for now. I'm gonna put Cloud. Yeah, I'm trying to remember what his our big bro, you and me, Scully Sinful, made a video like this, and I don't know, I found that one very entertaining, but I forget where he puts Cloud, but I'm trying not to entirely copy his opinion. But Cloud is really good, and the reason why Cloud is really good is because Cloud has very good PvP, Cloud has very decent survivability, and the passive buff of just doing more damage to bosses genuinely just elevates his character so high compared to, like, you know, a Kane or a Gaia, because the whole point of this game is that you kill the boss faster than the other team. and the idea that you can just do more damage for no reason is just kind of bonkers. He doesn't really have any like huge flaws. I think he was kind of slow, but they kind of buffed his speed, I'm pretty sure. Don't quote me on that, I don't have the patch notes up, but from what I've played, I feel like he's genuinely faster. And if he's not faster, then Sephiroth is in the game and he will become 12% faster most of the time anyway. So yeah, Sephiroth being present does a lot for his character in this current meta. And yeah, Omni Slash is good. Cross Slash is probably one of the best, I was about to say arts, one of the best skills in the game, or abilities. I forget which word they use, I'm pretty sure it's abilities. Cloud is just genuinely very good in this game, and it's kind of hard to beat him. So I'm putting him here. In fact, I might just put him at the bottom of S. I feel bad saying he's the best DPS in the whole game, but at the same time, it's kind of like his competition's it gets a little interesting. Anyway, let's talk about Gaia. Gaia, I'm gonna put Gaia right here. Gaia is very good because Gaia will hit you with a slow, and you will literally be in La La Land doing an ability, and then she'll just kill you. And that's a very strong thing to be doing. I've seen people put Gaia extremely high. I think it was in Japan, they said Gaia is like the second best character in the game behind Furion. But I kind of just can't feel comfortable putting her there, because I feel like there's a lot of situations where it's like, oh, she's really good, but the utility of Cloud is just better. Or like the boss damage of Cloud is just better. And you know, there's a lot of games where PvP doesn't really matter that much. Like a game where there's a Riku on both teams, you will not see the opponents fighting each other that often, because a lot of the time it's just not worth it. It's genuinely just not worth it. Everybody has 2 health bars, you know, just focus on the boss at that point. So because of that, I believe Gaia's right there, but I believe Furion is right here. This is, okay, I lied. This is the best DPS in the game. You know why this is the best DPS in the game? Because he doesn't have to waste a slot on a healing ability like Hope, Renew, or like just standard heal, or I forgot what we all used before Hope came out, but it was something along those lines. Yeah, he doesn't have to do that because he gets the health back by hitting people. Now, you know, sometimes you'll end up in a situation where you're low health and you don't want to waste your cooldown on like some like actual like random enemy, but that's like a really like not serious issue to be worrying about. Yeah, I run Surge Furion, and I think Furion's an extremely good character when you're solo queuing, because you just get to control the match, and you have a lot of things you can do to actually help your opponent win. Not your opponent win, actually help your team win. And that's really important when you got people hopping on the game when I got 6K and they got 7 points, 74 points. Like, you know, I have never seen a game like Dissidia where you can just hop on and just sell, you know what I mean? So having control of the match like that makes him the best DPS in the game. Is he better than Riku? Yeah. I don't know what everybody else says about Rinoa, but Rinoa is genuinely King Von in this game. I genuinely think Rinoa is busted. I think Rinoa is like right here or right here. I'm debating putting Cloud in top of A instead of bottom of S, but we need to fill out the roster more for that. Rinoa is genuinely like some of the most absurd things I've seen like in a game like this, because she has Angel Wing, which is broken because it's like, I'm pretty sure 20 seconds of just unfiltered invincibility. And you get a buff after that. You get a full heal, so you don't even have to run Hope if you don't want to. You can just pop Angel Wing and rely on the rest of your team. Damage is great. Meteor spread is crazy. The amount of times I was playing today, and you could just pop Meteor on the boss and get a free kill, and then you get 2 bursts off of it. So Rinoa is just busted. And then what Rinoa gets when she gets 3-stack Angel Wing, first of all, Meteor damage just kills. Like you just get eviscerated, right? On top of that, the attack chain when you have +3 Angel Wing, it just it just shreds people. Like Renoa is just like really good. I don't know how other way to explain it, but if you've ever run into like a moderately talented Renoa, like it is just, I would say like last half of the match when it says like, oh, monsters win in 2 minutes, that is one of the most dangerous characters in the whole game. Just right there and then, because they can just end your career right there and then you can just continue on with their day. So I think Renoa is right here. I don't think she's better than Firion because Loki, if you catch Renoa like off guard and she don't got like a Aerith protection on her or something like that, or she don't got like an Angel Wing stacked up to protect her, she's kind of just fried. There's nothing you can do about that. That's the character design. So I think putting her right there is pretty fair. We're gonna go to Terra because Terra is kind of like Renoa, but like just like a little bit alternate. I don't know why I put her here. I believe Terra is like here. I think Terra is relatively easy to kill, but I still think Terra's very good. I think Riot Blade, dude, the amount of times I've been killed by Riot Blade just out of nowhere, because like from 80 billion feet away is crazy. Trance is really good. Trance is like Angel Wing, just not as crazy. And you get to go faster, and that's pretty important in endgame. And you get buff damage. Trance is just good. All right, Meltdown is good, dude. If you have Riot Blade, Meltdown, and Ace RF, dude, that is no. You can just murder people just all the time. They won't even be looking at you is the craziest part. So that is why Terra is an S tier. Same problem with Renoa. If you get caught with your pants down, you're kind of fried. There's nothing you can do about that other than just pop Trance and Angel Wing and pray. But shoot, it's just like with Aerith protection in the game, it kind of makes these characters better. Like I would argue before this patch, I would argue this, but now because somebody could run into you, you could pop a Trance, you could pop Riot Blade, which I wouldn't recommend if somebody's directly in front of you, they could just run into you, or you could pop Aerith protection, and I think that's massive. Or you could just use Tifa, which is massive. Like it's like a launcher from 80 billion feet away, and it actually does kind of crazy damage. So because of things like that, I just think that this makes sense to me. Is she better than Riku? No, she's not better than Riku. Riku can affect a match crazy. Let's get into Balthier. Let's say Balthier. Balthier is really good at killing people, but in terms of actual damage, it's kind of like, the utility of having him is kind of not worth what it is. Like, his damage is okay on the boss. On the players, it's extremely good. But then you really just need a Renoa, a Cloud, a Clive to like capitalize on that damage. You need like a Kayn, capitalize on damage. What could work really well is if you have Balthier, you have Iroha, and he's just given the bravery directly to her. That could work. But because let's just say you're on a team with Balthier, Lightning, and Warrior of Light, buddy. If you're running Cheer Up and you're just killing people, you got maxed out bravery, you have nobody to give it to because nobody can do enough damage. There's just no point. Now, given the fact that matchmaking probably can't happen because there's so many melee characters, there's like 1, 2, what do we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then like ranged has like 3. I'm pretty sure 1, 2, 3. Yeah. So, given that, you're always going to have a melee, and then melee's Cloud and Clive, and those are like really popular characters overall. Given that, it's probably not going to happen, but overall, it's like when you put it into consideration, you could have Balthier or you could have Renoa, and I'm picking Renoa every single time because the utility of Balthier without Renoa or without a Cloud or without somebody who can take advantage of that bravery, it's just not worth it in my opinion. So I'm probably gonna put him like here. I think he's slightly worse than Iroha. I think Iroha has very, very good niche, but his niche is kind of like too crazy to be useful. Next up, give me Lightning, and I'm gonna put Lightning right here. I think when the game came out, I think Lightning was kind of butt. I'm not gonna lie to you. I think she was kind of like buns because the the uniqueness of like being fast, but just being slightly good at everything. I think they had her damage at like 0.75, and I'm just not gonna lie, she just couldn't do stuff. Like she just genuinely could not compete that much. Now they buffed Grafcon unit and they buffed her damage and made it pretty even. I think the utility of having somebody to like run around during the game and like be able to like complete tasks, like she could farm, she can stop people from getting the boss. Like, you know, somebody's really close to getting the boss, last 30 seconds, just pop a Thunderfall. Now they're in stun, somebody comes up behind them, wins the game for you. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. That's really important utility. I think that's actually so important utility. I might put her at the bottom of A. That might be stretching it. But outside of that, I don't really see her doing anything. I thought about running cheer up with her, but like, it's the same problem as Balthier, where it's like if you don't got somebody to take advantage of it, it's just simply not worth losing that bravery. But you're also just getting a surplus of bravery, so you gotta like do something with it other than just keep it away from the other team. So yeah, I think I'm gonna put it right here. It's really good utility, but not very good at anything else. And I think Army of One kind of sucks. I have that personal opinion. I don't know who agrees with that, but I think that's like, I don't want to say bottom 5 UR, but it's kind of stinky, I'm not gonna lie. Speaking of kind of stinky, oh, we actually don't have anybody transition into here, but let's talk about Onion Knight. When Onion Knight came out, I thought he was buns. I thought he was really bad, but you know, just like everybody else, you know, you read the character kit and you're like, oh, I get it. But having to play around that as a teammate kind of stinks, because you're just like helping them out. Like, for example, like, you know, there'll be like 3 enemies and there'll be the giant tree, and I'll like almost kill a giant tree and I'll walk away, and then he'll kill him and get the experience, stuff like that. But having to like wait for one of your team members to like become viable mid-game is kind of insane. And then whole time that he's trying to do that, they could just be killing him over and over again, and he could just never like get enough steam to get going. And that's just kind of like a sell. That's kind of like an instant sell, honestly. So his damage is really good when he gets going, but in a game like this with Supernova and Riot Blade and Angel Wing, like the idea you can't just get going immediately. Like, you know, I'm not gonna lie to you, starting match Renoa, terrible character. Like, she's kind of butt. The amount of times I've killed Renoa at the start of the match just because she doesn't have anything going for her. How long it takes for Renoa to build up. Renoa builds up and is the most important in the most, I'd say like 2/3 through the match, she's like good, right? And then, you know, when she gets that 3rd Angel Wing in, like, she's really good. And that's like the most important part of the match. So honestly, it's not really the same problem as Onion Knight. So I'm gonna put Onion Knight right here. He's good. It's just what it takes to get there. A lot of people can't do that. Kane came out in this game and nobody played him. I thought Kane was the best damage in this whole game. I don't think he is anymore. Honestly, I just do this. This is what I do with Kane. I put him right here. Is like the ability to teleport. Oh, I forgot, Renoa can teleport. That's huge. But the ability to teleport around is just so like pivotal. And the amount of times you can just put down a nuke in front of like 3 people and they all have to run away, they all have to evacuate, and then you can just do both of your nukes back to back and just like boom like an area, especially where the boss is. You can just put an area on shutdown for like a decent amount of time. So, you know, having the versatility to do that, and he has that damage buff, and he can get away easily with Spiral Blow. He's good. He's a solid character. That's why he's right there. I'm gonna doubt Cloud down here. It's like he's like, I don't want to be biased, but like he's just kind of good, you know. Braver is really good. Cross Slash is really good. He just has really good skills. Like as a character, he's fine, but he just has really good skills, and that's kind of carrying him. We're gonna do Sephiroth last here. Clive is good, but Clive is really slow, so it's kind of hard to get Clive going. But honestly, I think Clive's like the ability to just nuke somebody, given like all the time, that you can just pop a, was it Rising Flame, something like that, and then like the Phoenix one where you get your health back after. The ability to just do that is bonkers, and I think it's like A tier worthy. I think this is top of A. I would even put it here. Yeah, I'm gonna put it here because the burst change you can get with Will of the Wakes or whatever. Will of the Wakes. I don't know how to say it, but burst change you can get with that are massive. So we're just gonna leave it right there. And then we have Prompto. Prompto is one of my favorite characters in the whole game. I think he's really funny. I just think he's an entertaining character to play as. Stun is really good on Lumen Flare. Alea Bazooka is pretty good. Crack Shoot is calm. It's really good chain skill. And then Trigger Happy is just like spread UR. His URs are a little bit underwhelming for his character. Like I wish it was like a little bit more flashy or something like that. They definitely feel like it definitely feels like a base roster character. But I'm gonna put him right here. I don't think he's an S tier character. I think he can help a lot, but he's not carrying a match. Unless he's like a good player, he's not carrying a match. Like if he's an average player, he's not carrying a match. Because you gotta remember, these guys, they're carrying the match. Actually, I don't know if Terra's carrying the match, but Terra's niche is really good. So, in fact, I might move Terra here. I'm gonna shift this around. I think Clive is right here. I think Kane is right there. I think Terra is not better than Cloud. I think Cloud's better than Terra. So, yeah. I think Terra's niche is better than his just because of like the non-committal aspect of it. Like you could just boom somebody from 80 billion yards away. But for him, you just kind of got to set it up. For her, it's just they're already dead. So, yeah. Prompto's good, but he's not crazy. He's not insane. He's a very balanced character. Very balanced character. Which sounds crazy because it's like, oh, bro, he has a like 25 second stun. What do you mean by he's balanced? But like, you could kill him. Like you, like if you iframe through that stun, like he's cooked, bro. Like he really don't got much else to his name outside of that. He's low-key a one trick, I'm not gonna lie to you, but that one trick is genuinely hilarious every single time. Then we have Sephiroth. Sephiroth is one of the best characters in this whole game because of Supernova. Supernova is one of the most ridiculous skills I have ever seen, right? Supernova, you can't use it for like the first 100 seconds, I think, but it has like a 5 second, not 5, maybe 10, 5, 7 second like startup where it like has like a red circle around you and he's entirely invincible during all of it. And he can just boom everybody on the map. He can boom the boss, all of the enemies, clear out all the crystals, and if you're in any sort of like shield or air protection or anything, you're just stunned, right? And it's just gonna do 70% of your health every single time. If you are under 70% health, you get hit with this move, you are dead. You are dead. Your bravery is now his, automatically. You gotta iframe through it. And a lot of these characters don't have that easy iframe to do. A lot of these characters don't have like that cross slash. It's not crazy on cooldown, free iframe. They don't have a burst ready, free iframe, you know what I mean? Kind of hard to stop him. And then on top of that, the utility of clearing out every single crystal on the map, utility of hitting the boss for crazy damage, utility of being invincible this whole time. Like you could get into a one-on-one with Sephiroth, you pop Supernova, and then you're kind of cooked. I'm not gonna lie to you. There's not much you can do about that. Because of that, I think he is... Oh, and then the counter. Dude, the counter is insane. The fact that you can counter anything, not everything. I think you can't counter like poison and stuff like that. But you can counter every like direct hit, which is like a lot of moves in this game. I kind of want to move Furion, but like Furion's just really good. Like he's just extremely good in my opinion. But yeah, the meta revolves around these two characters, and I think their place in the tier list very much supports that. Because like, look, the way I see it is like, let's say you get in a match with these two. Let's say you get in a match with these three. This is a very realistic team, right? These three, or you know, you go 1, 2, 3, Sephiroth, Riku, Clive, right? against a match with Prompto, Cloud, and Warrior of Light. Buddy, they're losing. They're genuinely just losing because the things that they can do versus the things that they can do is just different. It's just on a different level. And is that like a little bit of power creep? Yeah, but like for a limited time character and it's Sephiroth, you kind of gotta just like let him do whatever he wants. It's not ridiculous. It's not a crazy thing. I think they're doing pretty good with keeping power creep like calm. Of course, Supernova is an outlier. Supernova is disgustingly broken, and they will nerf Supernova so bad next patch. But I'd like to see a character that revolves around like making cooldown fast or something like that. I like how they're spreading out the mechanics of like things you can do for new characters instead of just like, oh, they can do this thing better, because that's how you get power creep really easily. It's just making better versions of other characters. And you know, we're already getting like, you know, you look at Sephiroth, you look at Zidane, it's like, bro, what does bro even do? But like, it's not terrible. It's not terrible yet. I hope it does not get terrible. I hope they keep looking at different aspects of the game to improve instead of just making somebody better at something that somebody else is doing. Like you make another Cloud and he's just slightly faster, and it's like, oh well, he's just better Cloud, and Cloud's already good. So yeah, that is my take on this game. I don't think I'm gonna move anything. I think this is good. I think this is good right here. Yeah, I'm not gonna move anything. This is it. This is my Dissidia tier list. This is how I feel about the game so far. I think it's doing very well, and we will see what comes next. I'm hoping Squall gets in the game because Squall is tough. I'm praying for Noctis, but we know where Noctis' story goes, so he might not make it in, especially with Prompto's already here, and 15's like not the most popular game in the world. Yeah, wrap. Thank you for watching. Putting this on in the background. Shout out Scully Sinful for the video idea, and I will see you guys next time. Hopefully I'll be making more videos. I have a trip soon, so I'm not gonna be able to make videos for 3 weeks. I'm trying to get some stuff out, including this. So yeah, like it up, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys later. Also, like, before I go, I did want to state, I do recognize that the devs are giving out free URs in the character challenges. I heard the character challenges are really hard, but I already collected most of the URs. Have to play. I think the only ones I don't have is like Dragon Scourge and Angel Wing. But these are the kind of changes that I knew they were gonna make when I made that first video, because I think they're just good at their jobs. And this is why when people say stupid things like, oh yeah, bro, it's unfair because, you know, what if he has the UR and I don't, and all that. It's like, it's all stupid. It's genuinely just like rage bait propaganda, bro. It's genuinely just getting mad at things that haven't happened yet or won't happen. And then the person who said it probably already dropped the game. So it's just stuff like that that kind of like tick me off a little bit. You know, it is what it is.